It is a mess in here. Like, pretty bad. What's up, guys? It's Wednesday. It is like 3 p.m. It is the heat of the day. I made a joke. I set an alarm for 6 a.m. this morning. And yeah, due to me falling asleep at 1 a.m. because it's the best I can do with my work schedule, I woke up at about 9:30. Got on the computer, paid some bills, got my tag renewals in the mail, so went ahead and took advantage of the one day that I'm off to go get my tags renewed. Run some errands, had lunch with the wife, and guess what? Now it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So, I need to get some work done on the truck, like real bad. I don't know if you guys seen it in one of the other videos. You guys don't like to watch the pit bike videos, and I talked about this in a pit bike video, but if you're an OG and you follow along, you already know this. If you're just here for the truck stuff, then here you go. Ordered these Schoenfeld headers. The last fuel system video I left off on, I showed you guys how my other ones weren't going to work. So yeah, got these babies in. Apparently they're the only ones that fit an OBS with an LS. So here they are. They say this is temporary paint and it will burn off. So I think what we're going to do, since we plan on tearing this back down like in the fall or winter or whenever we go to actually like really go through it, and after we shake it down for a few months, make sure everything's okay, we'll, you know, get the frame painted up nice. We'll probably wrap these with some header wrap, make them look good, you know, whatever other touches we do. But today I am going to do my damnedest to get these headers off without pulling the motor. Should be doable. We're gonna pull these headers off. We're gonna put these headers on, and we're gonna finish up the fuel system, which there's not really a lot to do. Oh, the other line fell. I've got the feed up here. I have the return up here too. It just fell, but so all I've got to do is get the headers bolted up and then figure out which way I'm going to run the fuel hose, and then wrap some of this insulation here on it. Keep the fuel lines nice and insulated so they don't get burnt and we don't start a fire, because that would just really be my luck to do all this work and burn it to the ground because of something like that. But anyways, that's what we're gonna do today. And then I need to get new U-joints for the drive shaft because they were pretty clapped out. And then other than that, we got the wrap ordered today, so the material should hopefully be in within the next 2 weeks. Then we can start on the wrap. This weekend I'm going to get the other parts truck we bought, or well, traded for, get that down here, and those will be my new doors, so that I won't have the dented door anymore. And yeah, so I think it can be done. I hope. I just gotta stay moving and keep it going and get it on. So without further ado, I'm gonna get the shop picked up a little bit. We got some stuff hanging out everywhere that shouldn't be, but we were in a hurry Saturday to get stuff going. So let me get it picked up a little bit in here, and then we're gonna get to taking the headers off and getting the fuel system finished up. Here we go. All right, guys, so I got some stuff out, got the shop kind of cleaned up, got the bench over there decent. I didn't clean up the top of the toolbox, but just clean some of this stuff up. Now I got a little bit of space. Got the headers out. I looked them both over. They look pretty good. There's no like cracks in the welds or nothing like that I noticed. Got our new gaskets out, and these gaskets look real nice compared to the other ones we had. They gave us some new bolts, which I like because these bolts kind of look cheesy. They're not, I don't know, some about them just, it don't look right. Don't look strong. I hope I don't break any of them getting on. But I got my ratchet out, and I'm gonna do it the slow way, try to be easy with every one of them, and hopefully I can get lucky, get them all out. I mean, the truck hasn't been ran, and we didn't use any type of like blue thread lock or anything. We didn't use anything like that. We just ran them in and torqued them down to spec. So hopefully they should just break loose and come right out. And looks like I should be able to pull both the headers off straight out this way. Worst case, I'll pull the steering column back through and get this out of the way. That'll give me a little extra room, but I think it'll fit. So I'm gonna get you guys set up on the tripod. We're gonna get these pulled off and get the new ones slapped on, and then we will get to the fuel system. So here we go. Alright, got the new ones in. They went in pretty easy. Due to the way that the headers have a little bend in them down here, I couldn't put them in this way. You have to come in, so how all the people say on the passenger side you have to come in from the bottom. That's true. Because I tried to wiggle it and I got like the front little part of the end of the collector through, but the way it was bent, it wasn't gonna go. So, and when you're under the truck and you push it up through the bottom, it's no problem. It goes right up, nothing hits, nothing's in the way. So that was cool. And then on the driver's side, it got a little tight on the steering column, but they went through this way. For ease, you could just come up from the bottom too if you're already set up, you know, on a creeper or your little I come from not having a shop, so your little ghetto vinyl banner or whatever you lay on in the dirt so you don't get completely swamped. While you're already down there on that, go ahead and put this up from the bottom, make it a little easier for you. Other than that, the bolts that came with them were real nice. They seem a lot nicer than these cheesy turds, which luckily I didn't snap any of them. They actually broke right loose. I don't know how easy it was to tell them in time lapse, but they were easy to break loose. A lot of people don't torque these down. I did, only just because, and I got, you know, my little Harbor Freight Pittsburgh torque wrench, so if I got it, might as well use it, right? Torque spec I found everywhere was 18 foot-pounds all the way across, and there's not really a sequence, but you want to work from the inside out. So just go off of your two that are next to each other in the middle, just do those two and then do the next two and then the next two, or whatever order you want to do, but go from the inside out. That way you're distributing the load. You're pulling it in the middle, and then you're pulling it this way, and then you're pulling the outer edges in. Instead of pulling in here, your flange might have like a little bow to it, and then when you tighten it down, you might warp your flange or do some funny stuff. So that's why you want to do that. And for you guys that are thinking about getting these headers and wonder how much room there is and all that great stuff, I'm gonna kick my creeper to the other side. Yeet. Yeah, by the way, if you ever break the base off of one of these tower fans, break it the rest of the way off, take the screws out and all that, and take it out to your garage, because this thing is so nice. It fits almost everywhere. You can turn it on your side and it still works. Your side on its side and it'll still work. But yeah, here we go. So I don't know how good this light is. Let's see. That's not too bad. So this is where your collector ends up. You can see it's a pretty snug fit. It's actually touching right there on the control arm mount. I mean, I guess that's not a big deal. It's not to me, because the frame shouldn't move, and the only thing it's going to do is as the motor rocks, that's just going to rub a little bit. If I could bend that away. I guess if you really cared, you could take a little hammer and just kind of tap that primary right there in a little bit so that it didn't touch, but to me that's not that big of a deal. Other than that, the header clears almost everything else. Well, I say almost, it does clear everything else, doesn't touch anything. I did notice that this driver's side is a little shorter. It doesn't come as far back this way as the passenger side does. I don't know why they're not the same length or whatever, but I'm sure it has something to do with this side is a lot. If it had the same setup as on the other side over here, it would hit the frame. So I know these have a different little curvature to them, but I don't know. I guess in this way they're equal length, I think, I guess is the solution. And due to the bends, they come out at a different distance. I really don't know. I guess important things that people will care about is the clearance. So everything on this side doesn't touch. Still got a pretty good access to your starter. They don't get in the way of that. They don't touch the transmission anywhere. Your O2 bung is on the outside, so when we put that in, it'll be out here in the open, which is awesome. It won't be touching anything, won't be in the way. And then this one over here will be right here, again in the wide open, won't be in the way of nothing. You know, good thing it's not pointing up, because then it's tight and it's hard to get to right here. So I'd say good job on Schoenfeld's part. Pretty nice piece, I'd say. So now, and it looks like the sensors I have, the pigtails that they came with, I have a lot more length than this. I thought these were going to be too short, but they're actually pretty much perfect, because the pigtails I have are like another 4 or 5 inches of length, and then this pigtail came out right here, so that's awesome. I can get those installed and get those wrapped up, and then solder them and all that good crap. I already put the starter on, as y'all probably noticed. I didn't really say I got it on, but it went on with a breeze. Looked like it fit in pretty good, and that's the one that came off this truck. So, or not off the truck, but off the engine, the LS. That's the matching starter to this motor, so I don't see why it should have problems. But now we can proceed to, that told us what we needed. I didn't know if the long tubes would come out way back here, and that was what was going to affect this little kick out piece, which, if I can remember right, let me give you guys some light, not too much. It went right here, like this, minus the bolt. So that kicked the fuel lines out kind of to the middle, and I think they went up this way. I'm not going to do that with the long tubes there. They're actually far enough inside, which is the reason I waited on them, to know it's close enough to the transmission. I'll just let the fuel lines run up right here, put a little insulation wrap on them, and I think they'll be just fine. And I'll mainly just do the insulation like from here to, you know, just, well, probably all the way up, because the back primary is pretty close to where these come up. So we'll insulate them all the way up there, and then call that good. So I got my full wrap made. I didn't really film making that, sorry. I'm hot and bothered. I'm trying to get this stuff done because A, I'm not motivated today, and B, it's really hot and miserable in here. So this is what I got. I stuck the feed and return line, I couldn't think of that word. I just have them in here kind of blanketed by this foil wrap. And then all I did was, you just, if you do it like taco style or burrito style, however you want to say that. You just leave enough extra that you take a wire or something and just kind of weave it through it all the way down, and that'll keep it together to where it won't fall apart. And again, all it is this stuff. I think I bought it on Amazon a long time ago. It's pretty simple stuff. You just cut it. It's real easy to cut. You can use a razor or scissors or whatever. I use these for almost everything. But anyways, yeah, I just kind of laid this whole thing up there, stuck the two hoses together, kind of tacoed it around it, or burrito, however you want to say it. And all you do is just kind of lay it over like this, and then obviously you want the full side out, and then you just poke some wire through it or something. I got some old rusty baling wire, but it's temp rated, it works. And you just kind of thread it through like you're sewing this together, but do it with wire. It doesn't have to be real tight, but just kind of go about every 2 or 3 inches or so. And then on the end, twist it off. Make sure you don't have a sharp little pointy piece that'll poke your fuel lines. Alright, so I did some ghetto engineering. Found one of these old wire loom hooks, whatever you want to call them. They're supposed to go on a stud like that, you know, and then have the thingy. But like that one's in a useless location now. Well, anyways, I had one down in the bolts bin, and I thought, well, let's put some dirt dauber welds on there so that it can't move, and then we can put our fuel lines in there, you know, like that, like so. Right? Well, let me do that because I only have 2 hands, and this requires 3. So let me do that right quick, and I'll show y'all what's up. There we go. Got it clamped together, and yeah. So what that allows me to do is where I had that wire loop down there that I talked about, how I fed them through that and then brought them up. Well, the foil and wire also, I didn't think about this when I did it. The foil and wire also allowed me to like contour that sleeve in the hose, and it actually holds a shape. So I actually got to get that curve right there, and it stays like that. So it either sags or it comes back up just like that. So my theory is, since I did this holds it safely to the wall because it's got the insulation on it, that when I cut and put my fittings on the fuel rail here, like so, that these connections will keep that hose held up, and then this will keep it from sagging anymore. So basically, between being connected here with fittings and then having this clamp, I don't think the hose will move it, or yeah, I don't think the hose will move at all. If it does, then you know, we'll figure it out, of course. Next up, I'm gonna get the fittings here put on the hose, and then get our quick connects tightened on, and make sure that I do not get them backwards because they're 2 different sizes. All right, here we go. Figured you guys would want to hear the snap. So there we go. Oh, it doesn't even snap. Well, that one did. This one did. It should be alright. Just kind of moving around a little bit. I guess we'll see if it leaks, right? But that looks pretty clean. The yellow tabs kind of suck, but that's what I get for using this kind of hose. You know, obviously if I used braided and cut it real nice and did that whole thing, then that'd be that. But I think this is all right for what it costs. I'm pretty stoked. I definitely couldn't have afforded $400 worth of hose and fittings. I couldn't have done it. So yeah, here we are. The fuel system's pretty well wrapped up. I think I'm gonna go ahead and get the vent, that little vent piece I ordered. Alright guys, so basically what you get in the box is it's this thing right here. So just imagine this has a barb. It's just a barb fitting, so all you do is You can push it on dry. I always use WD-40 or something. I put WD-40 on whatever fitting I'm trying to fit in the hose, and then usually it just slides right on easy. You don't have to fight it. But basically all this does is it has a, I don't know if y'all can hear that, it has a check ball in it. So what this allows the tank to do, since we got rid of the evap system, we put this hose here on the evap, and then we which I'm going to cut it shorter, of course, but you just have to make sure that it's vertical in some way, somewhere, which I'm just going to make it follow the fuel filler neck and the overflow for the filler neck. I'll probably just zip tie it to that so that it won't be perfectly vertical, but it'll be like this, which to me is good enough. Alright, so I went out and looked at the bed and saw how this needed to be twisted, and I actually had it completely like 45 degrees the wrong way, so or 90, whatever. I turned it up the way it needs to be oriented, and that actually puts this vent tube kind of more at a vertical angle. And then I looked in the bed, and this cavity right here in the bed is just complete dead space. There's nothing here. So I think I'm going to run this hose under, well, I'll come up right here, that way it props up against this, and we'll just have it like that so it's vertical, and then I'll just zip tie it to this vent line, and then we'll make our connection here. I'm going to try to cut this gracefully and not pinch it shut, but then again it doesn't really matter because all I got to do is slide this hose over it and do a hose clamp, so really it's not that big of a deal. But I do know that it can't have a bend in it, so how it naturally goes down, they say it can't do that. So we're going to go by the rules, and I'm going to try to bend this straight. If I can't bend it, then I'll just cut it back here where it's straight or something and slide our hose on. So let's get that done and we'll check back. It's like I kind of bent it a little bit too much. That's okay. Alright. So let's get this. Let me get a couple zip ties. So let's start up here. We want to make sure it's vertical, or as best as we can be. So I think that's good enough. Go ahead and do that like that. And then another one down here. Past the bend so it holds it in place. Pretty good. And then I could actually make this long enough where it'll just slide over that, so that's probably what I'm going to go ahead and do. Looks like we need to be about this long, would be okay. So I'll use these. Let's do this. Pull it back a little bit. Damn, that was a bitch. Remember guys, when it won't slide in very easy, use lubrication. Oh, look at that. That applies to many other things besides truck building. So we'll tighten that down. I think that's about it. I'll take it off the tripod and go over it by hand. That way you guys can take a good look at everything. But that's about it for the fuel system. So that's how we have it setting. As you can tell, it's pretty well straight. I still screwed this on a little crooked. But anyways, all our fuel lines are tight. I double checked those the other day. I made sure I screwed the ground bolt down real good. It's right here. Clipped it in, made sure it's clipped. Got the wires out of the way. And then we've got our new vent tube This is tight, so we're good to go there. Yeah, I need to twist that just a little bit, but I think that'll be okay. Other than that, in case you guys missed it, this is what we did up front. Yeah, it's kind of ghetto, but it's all right. It's good enough for now. This is the same thing if you bought that thermal whatever insulating stuff from AutoZone or wherever. It's the same stuff. I just had it and had to make it. So yeah, it's not as pretty, and I probably will do something different later on, get some better retainers, but for now this is what we got, and I feel like it's safe. Put a couple zip ties right here to keep this hose from falling. That'll keep it up and tight. Then I need to tighten these fittings down, and that's it. I need to tuck this out of the way. I gotta get the I gotta take the column back apart right there to get the boot back up on the firewall. It fell through when I pushed it, but anyways, got the long tube headers put on, got the fuel system finished up. It has been a long hot day. I am super tired. I was starting to get a headache there for a little bit, but chug some more water, got it down. But yeah, so this weekend, Saturday, James is coming over, and we're gonna do our best to get our first start on Saturday. And we also are gonna try to start early. Y'all know how that goes with me. I suck at it, but I'm gonna try my best. We're supposed to have a high of like 109 or 110, something like that, on Saturday. And as y'all know, we've talked about the shop gets really hot, and we ain't trying to be out here. I know James doesn't do well in the heat. Chris doesn't do well in the heat. I'll bear and grin it, but I don't like it. So we're gonna try to get started early. As of right now, I'm done. I wish I'd do more tonight, but I'm totally smoked for tonight. Just need to put in the O2 sensors, wire those up. That won't take but a minute. The shift linkage, I gotta find a nut for that. I realized that the nut is missing from that. So I gotta find a nut to get the shift linkage screwed onto the neutral safety switch. And then other than that, we just have to finish up a couple more wires in here. We got a little bit more to do. We're really gonna try to get our first start this Saturday, and that'll let us know that the motor's okay and that we're good to go to proceed with putting the front clip back together, and then working on a little bit of body work to get it ready for the wrap. Stone ordered the wrap today, so we got that on the way. And then I need to score some rims and get the drop put on, and other than that, we're in decent shape. Still gotta do the seat tabs, and then of course finish up some wiring. Need to get the OBD2 port wired up so we can monitor some stuff. So we got a little bit more work to do, but I'm feeling good. I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. I think we're on the downhill slope. Things are looking okay. So yeah, we're almost at 2,400 subscribers, so I want to thank you guys for that, of course. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for checking out the pit bike videos, because you know that's how we let out and have a little bit of fun. Thank you guys for watching the truck videos and for all your support so far. Please guys, it means so much for y'all to drop a comment. Let me know what you think. If you had a question about what I did in the video, let me know. If you need a link to some parts, or you're curious about a tool I use or something like that, feel free to leave a comment. Ask me. I always check those. They're pretty easy to keep up with between my phone and the computer, so if you like what we did, please just click the like button. It's free, and it's just right there. It's just right there. Just click the like button. But other than that, that's it for today. Y'all stay tuned for the next one, and as always, peace out. Keep your head up. Smile. Later.